Black Myth Wukong, a Souls-like action RPG made by a Chinese studio I've never heard of, and based on Chinese books and a TV show that I've also never heard of, The Journey to the West. See, there he is, Wukong, can't you tell?
No!
Released in 2024 on PlayStation and PC, and then Xbox exactly 1 year later to the date, but don't worry, there was no timed exclusivity deal. Where it exploded in popularity throughout the year, nominated for Game of the Year, where CEO Feng Ji is said to have had an acceptance speech written out for when he'd win the award 2 years in advance, just to lose to Astrobot and be salty on the internet about it for the next month. But that begs the question, with a year having passed since then and all the hype dying down, was Black Myth Wukong really that good? Was it as good as the reviews, Metacritic, and Steam says, and did it deserve Game of the Year like the CEO assumed 2 years prior?
Well, yes. But I think I'm a bit more mixed on it than most people, I'm not gonna lie.
As before playing the game, I was told that it was a Souls-like, but a more streamlined Souls-like, difficult but easier compared to the likes of Elden Ring, Sekiro, the Dark Souls trilogy, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, some of the other ones, so I interpreted that as this was gonna be a fucking cakewalk and treated it as such. As for the first hour, I essentially just goofed around, standing in front of enemies, charging my heavy and one-shotting them, light attack, jump spamming them, just being completely overconfident until I walked into this big blue bobble-headed bitch who looks like the fucking flame cherry to lobotomize an Elden Ring, blind, lumbering around, giggling like a 10-year-old, aimlessly flailing his arms around it in my mind, essentially verifying that yes, this game was gonna be a cakewalk.
I was incorrect.
I think this game might be hard.
Okay. This guy's kind of annoying.
Holy fuck, I'm getting humbled right now.
For fuck's sakes, he just fucking starts it. I can't understand when this guy's gonna stop his combo or when he's gonna start. And he's got that stupid ass fucking smile on his face.
I'm starting to get really fucking mad.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking? Oh my god! Cry. That makes me happy to hear. Fuck my life, I can't see anything because I'm staring at a tree branch! He can't reach me from here. Just fucking... Stupid, you're stupid, and I just wasted a flask on accident.
He can't reach me from here. Stupid, you're stupid.
I hate my life. I got fucking humbled, and badly. So badly that even after beating him, I was still salty about my humbling.
Was that one the optional one?
I thought this fucking blue fucker was the optional one, because he's so lame looking. With his dumbass smile, I'm still so fucking heated. As this boss fight is essentially Tree Sentinel, giving you a nice reality check to let you know that you were lied to, this game is no joke, as well as to force you to get accustomed with the game's combat, which you're gonna need to be accustomed with to even have a chance of survival later in the game. And honestly, despite how salty and bruised my ego was afterwards, it works really well in what I was trying to set out to do. Just in this boss fight alone, I was already getting basic game mechanics down, switching up my style so that I'm not just playing like it's Dark Souls, instead actually comboing, stun locking, and using the limited tools that I had at my disposal, and dying anyway. It was a good skill check and humbling to really introduce you to the game and ensure that you got the basics of the combat down, which is fantastic, by the way, and one of the best aspects of the game, as you can become and feel like an absolute badass. You have the basic combos, of course, a light attack flurry, heavy attacks that you can charge up by holding the heavy attack button to charge your erection harder and harder, triangle, and square for light. You attack using square and triangle. This threw me the fuck off for a while, I'm not gonna lie, especially going back to Night Rain afterwards, where a significant number of flasks were wasted trying to do a light attack. While it may not seem like much, when paired with the different abilities that you unlock throughout the game, it turns things into an absolute power trip, and when played correctly, can make you feel unstoppable until you get stopped by a random boss, with Immobilize being the first, and in my opinion, most useful ability you get in the game, freezing enemies for multiple seconds and giving you the opening to land a barrage of attacks, followed by other abilities unlocked throughout the game with varying usefulness, especially when they're competing for the same slots. For example, Ring of Fire takes the same slot as Immobilize.
The game was rigged from the start, my friend. You never stood a chance.
I never once even gave this ability a shot. I never once used it in a combat encounter. The one time I used Ring of Fire was to help an NPC who was asking for fire, which he had approximately 10 feet away from him.
What do I do?
The dumbass won't follow.
Oh, that's what I'm fucking supposed to do? Bro, how are you supposed to know? That's some Dark Souls shit.
Then disappear and Dwayne The Rock Johnson in your triangle slot, which
Apparently, most people chose the disappear ability over the rock. I am not like most people.
after beating the game and seeing more footage of this ability in use, I think I'm a fucking idiot. It's basically the closest thing that you get to a parry in this game, briefly stunning bosses, allowing you to get some free hits and a combo going, unless it just decides to not fucking work. What? What the fuck was that? Followed by your X ability, which is essentially reserved for your duplicates who range between extremely useful, especially in gank encounters. I'm out of flash too. Oh my god. What the fuck is this area? They're just fucking infinite cardio. Just fucking swinging.
Got duplicates. How's it feel, idiots, huh? Not very fucking fun when you're on the receiving end.
To a complete waste of like half your bar of mana as your duplicates get more scared of the boss than you and just back away for the entire time they're around.
Do anything. Why are my duplicates? My duplicates are literally scared.
Or the boss does some set piece bullshit for 30 seconds where neither you or the clones can hit them, so they just wander around and then disappear. When they work, they fucking work. When they don't, it's essentially just locking yourself out of every other spell for the rest of the fight because the duplicates ate your mana and proceeded to do nothing with it, leaving you with only one option, one spell, which for some reason doesn't cost any mana.
I'm not complaining.
The most clutch spell in the entire fucking game, the Pokemon. This one specifically, Fire Master Splinter, who's the first one that you get, and genuinely the best in the game. This ability is single-handedly the MVP of Black Myth Wukong. I don't know if I would have been able to beat this game without this ability. The amount of times that he clutched up for me is out of this world.
Damn it with that attack. Save me, Pokemon. Save me, Pokemon. Yes! The fucking Pokemon for the clutch. What a clutch.
Allowing you to transform into him for a couple dozen seconds with his own full bar of health that doesn't translate to your actual health bar, which essentially equates to a free heal and damage using a flurry of attacks that do slight damage but build up to a fucking nuke of an attack where he either Beyblade spins into your enemies, this is the shitty version of the charge attack,
That's not the heavy attack I wanted you to do, motherfucker.
or Axe Handle slams his weapon into the ground, stunning 9 out of 10 enemies, inflicting fire and allowing you to get a second flurry of attacks onto the enemies as they're recovering from the stun, and a second nuke if you're fast enough, but majority of the time I'm not, and Splinter simply fucks off as his ability gets fully charged, but before I can use it again.
No, wait, please don't go at me.
Meanwhile, your other Pokemon transform ability, the Spirits, did the fucking opposite of clutching. They lost me my run. As your R2 L2 ability briefly turned you into an enemy that you killed previously during the game, these blue variants of enemies, which have more health than the default, and drop you their Spirits to use in combat after literally folding in half. The only problem is the game already gave you the best fucking Spirits in like the first 5 minutes. The big blue bobbleheaded bitch is one of, if not the best Spirits in the entire fucking game, and is handed to you immediately after beating him an hour into the game, which I refuse to use out of spite and pride. Why am I like this?
Take the form. Why would I want to take the form of that fucking dumbass? I don't want to take the form of him. No, I'm not fucking buying it.
Instead, using this charging spirit the most, who's also given to you extremely early within the first 10 hours. Some of the earliest spirits you get are fucking purple epic spirits. Meanwhile, some of the later ones that you get as a reward for exploring the map are fucking shittier blue ones. So why did I waste my time exploring the map? And even with these purple spirits that you get, majority of them feel like a fucking hindrance more than anything. I swear, this shit got me killed more times than they help.
I actually got killed by that thing with its fucking stupid ass kicks. That's what I got fucking killed by.
Because for some reason, unlike the Pokemon, these spirits don't get their own brief or small health bar or simply make you invulnerable for a moment. Instead, they share the exact same health bar with you, essentially turning you into a sitting fucking frog to get elbow drop. The exact reason why I ended up using this one, a quick charging attack, get some fast damage, quickly in and out, which the big blue bobble-headed bitch also does, and infinitely better, but I don't care. I don't
need you, you piece of shit. I can do this without you. I already kicked your fucking ass.
While I like the idea of the spirits, I do think they could have been implemented a little better, both with how you get them, saving better ones for later, and how they're implemented mechanically so that they feel more consistent, maybe letting you be invulnerable for a few seconds so they're not getting you killed.
What? What the fuck just happened to me?
What the fuck just happened to me? I ran into his butt and I got launched into the fucking air. The ult feature is never gonna be used again. Or simply letting you cancel the ability midway through if you see sudden danger incoming, like you give us the ability to do with the fucking rock, even if that too has its own consistency issues, especially with some of the hitboxes. What? What the fuck was that hitbox? The spirits are by far the worst example to me, but from time to time, some of the other abilities can get a bit wonky too, especially immobilize. You know, the ability I relied on the fucking most. Most of the time, the ability will work as intended, freezing them for a few seconds until either you do something powerful to knock them out of the freeze, or the immobilize timer simply wears off. Then there's other times where it'll stun them for a second, and then they just snap out of it and immediately attack you, or it doesn't freeze them at all, not even a hint of it being activated, but when you look down at your ability, it's now on cooldown and your mana has been consumed. What for? For attempting it, I guess. I literally immobilized. I don't understand how this ability works sometimes. I genuinely couldn't tell if it was the fault of the ability and its programming or if it was my fault and just a mechanic that I wasn't understanding. And if that's the case, then yes, I am a dumbass.
But do a better job at explaining shit for dumbasses.
Aside from that minor frustration, this game's combat system is absolutely fantastic, and just to re-emphasize, it's got some issues, yes, but it's one of the best adaptations of the Souls-like genre that, when used properly, can make you feel like the fucking boss, stun locking them, bouncing them around until all your shit's on cooldown, where you revert back to being the bitch. As the boss fights here, for the most part, are great. You got a huge list of them, seriously, like chapter 1 and 2 and some of the later chapters is practically a fucking boss rush. The areas are secondary. The areas are basically a narrow path with a few enemies that you one-shot en route to another boss, this being most prevalent in chapter 1. There were boss fights in every fucking corner.
Oh my god, there's another boss fight. It's been like 5 minutes. Oh, there's no way. There's no way. Here we go. 10 minutes later.
With the main bosses having a noticeable amount of more effort put into them, and what I mean by that is too many fucking moves. Meanwhile, the mini bosses are still good, but generally just serve as a quick challenge in between the main bosses, breaking up the levels, who are usually much easier than the main bosses that you can beat in 1 or 2 attempts. A couple of frogs, all of which I first tried, except for this one with a centipede tongue that was actually rocking my shit.
Bro, what the fuck? I was mid-dog.
Some funny ones like someone's right fucking hand reaching down a cliff to fight you as if my phone gained sentience after I dropped it under my bed.
I'm fighting somebody's right hand? Just take your hand out of the fucking tunnel. Pick your hand up.
All of which I usually first or second try. Usually. That is until you explore a bit too far into the snow area and find a random bald big-eared fuck bounded kneeling in the snow that attacks you via breakdancing techniques, which made me laugh. A fatal error, which he took personally as he then proceeded to break out of his bind.
Oh fuck, I'm fucked. I'm literally
and whoop my fucking ass for an hour straight.
God, my health bar. Calm. Calm. What the fuck am I fighting? Bro. Bro. Dog. This guy's gonna make me mad. Insanity that kills. I'm so tired of getting kicked in the fucking face. How did that hit me? What was that hitbox? Dog, he just whips that shit out whenever you want. I'm dead. Fuck this boss.
Fuck this boss. Fuck this boss. You're hideous. You're fucking boring. And you're sick.
Fuck this ball.
Honestly, to that point, he was actually the hardest fight in the game to me, matched only by the Beaver, who also took me around an hour. Probably would have taken me more if it wasn't for the luckiest victory I've ever gotten in my entire fucking life, where my fire killed him right as I was about to die.
No, what's happening? What the I'll take it.
It was a fantastic fight and one of my favorites, and one of the fights that I learned best by the end of the game. But what I didn't learn was how to see through the constant fucking sand he kicks up in your face. He's behind there somewhere, winding up something, I can't tell what, because there's a dust storm in my face. There is the Wind Tamer item to quell the storm during the second phase, which, of course, I didn't know about or get, because how am I supposed to figure all this shit out? But even with the Wind Tamer, even with the Wind Quelled, even in the most clear environments, it doesn't matter, because you will smack into an invisible wall that's for some reason in the middle of a fucking boss arena.
Why are you outside of the fucking arena?
That's such bullshit! I understand a boss arena having borders, a beginning and end, and not every fight can be cost in an infinite body of water. And hell, sometimes boss arenas are even intentional and make up the fucking fight, like the ginormous Taurus demon on this narrow-ass bridge, locking you into a claustrophobic space, unable to run away and forcing you to dodge in, learn iframes, or how to throw him off the bridge. Boss arenas are obviously important, but for the love of God, can I at least see where the arena is? Can I at least see where the arena begins and ends? Can I at least see what the fuck I'm supposed to be looking at? Because the camera can be actually atrocious in certain fights. Catching random things like a fucking tree branch and getting you killed. Staring at the insides and organs of a boss to the point where I have to guess when to start rolling based on their sound cues and sudden rustling of their bodies, or staring at my fucking ass for 90% of the fight because the boss likes to pogo stick directly upwards and snap the cameraman's neck to keep track. I don't mind being killed in a boss fight. Sure, in the moment, I might get salty. I might say this is bullshit or bitch in whatever fucking way. It's a part of the game. It's a part of the genre. It's a part of the process. But when I'm killed by a finicky camera or shit blinding you or invisible fucking walls for no reason, then yeah, I get annoyed. But again, for the most part, those are the only real design oversight issues with these boss fights. Everything else is a great encounter that tests you very well. Movesets that can mix you up from how they delay or do pointless bullshit to bait a roll out of you, literally. What the fuck? But with enough time, you can learn their tells and take advantage of their openings with your abilities and combos and beat them pretty convincingly. This mantis, a fucking mantis, was beating my ass for like 20 minutes straight. Holy fuck. Bro, he doesn't stop. You have to stop. You have to stop attacking. You have to stop! Both enough time and learning, I was able to pretty convincingly win. Same with my wife, who took my name in the marriage. This feels like a fight that should have taken me a lot longer with her combos, AoE attacks, and bullshit like that. But of course, she loves me and was going easy on me enough to let me combo the fuck out of her. The bosses in this game are balanced in a good way. You got fights that feel like a practically even balance, a practically even one-on-one, with, in my opinion, the best example of this having to be the tiger, who looks like he's on some sort of acid trip, who, despite whooping my ass for like 10 minutes straight, felt like the most balanced fight in the game to me, because he wasn't killing me with some BS or by overwhelming me with different abilities. He was simply catching me in mistakes with his delays and mixing up his cues. You have those, and then you have fights that feel a little less even, especially late game, like the jerk off hand inspector, which again is fine and a good challenge to overcome, which can lead to some of the most intense moments that I've experienced in the Souls genre since at least Shadow of the Erdtree. No! Yes! Oh my god! That was so close! Bro, he attacks for way too long. And that is something that's not fine, that's not a good challenge. The fucking constant downtime that so many of these boss fights seem to have for no reason. This boss fight in particular, having one of the worst, as he gets on a fucking unicycle. I don't know what I'm looking at. This whole fight feels like a schizophrenic hallucination. As he gets on this unicycle and rides around for, I shit you not, like 30 seconds straight. Brother. I would like a turn! And it happens repeatedly. A boring barrage of circles on the ground that you have to run around, used multiple times. Laser beams being shot at you for like 15 seconds straight, which can happen more than once. My wife pointlessly zigzagging balls around in an attempt to mix me up before hurling them at me. This isn't a get good complaint. Honestly, all these attacks were pathetically easy to dodge and gave me a chance to heal. This is a pacing issue complaint, which this game struggles with repeatedly in various ways, going from an intense back and forth to suddenly 30 seconds of downtime as you have to sit there while passively dodging or passively watching a phase transition cutscene that for some reason the game refuses to let you entirely skip. Hold X to skip the cutscene. I will hold X to skip the cutscene. I have been taken to another cutscene. Sometimes you can't skip it at all. Other times you have to wait like 10 seconds before being given the ability to skip it. Other times you'll skip it and then be taken to the second half of the cutscene, which will last another 10 seconds. When
I skip a cutscene, I want to skip the whole thing. I don't want to skip part of it.
And even when you can't skip that cutscene, there's a high probability that the game for some reason will just lock you off your target in between that skip and get you fucking hit or killed because you're looking at fucking nothing. But by far the worst offender of bad pacing in a boss fight is the 100-eyed Deodist and his inflated fucking health bar. Even starting off at 75% health, his first phase would still consistently take around 5 minutes long just to reach his second phase.
Oh, he's got a fucking health bar. Holy shit.
A boss fight that I genuinely thought was cool and would have enjoyed, ruined by the fact that I had to sit through a 5-minute gauntlet just to be given the opportunity to see what's going on in his second phase and dying in 30 seconds.
I just spent 5 fucking minutes, and the thing that I learned is he disappears and zones you. Great.
And it sucks, because again, it's a cool boss fight. The second phase seems like a cool boss fight if I wasn't fucking fat rolling. I'm sure that if they had just cut the health down a little bit more, I would have liked this fight a lot more.
In the same way, I'm sure if I found the needle item, which stops you from fat rolling during the second phase, I would have liked this fight a lot more.
Like I said, the worst case of the bloated health bar to be, it happens with a few others, but not to this extent. The only other boss who I feel could compare to the centipede is me. Look at him. That's literally me. Look at him. Look at me. It's a spinning image. The same name. He has pale skin. He's skinny and he fights like a bitch. Design-wise, moveset, cinematically, he is amazing. He's so fucking cool like me, but actually playing against him is a fucking slog. And it doesn't come from a bloated health bar this time. His health bar is fine. It's from the fact that this fucker is Elden Beast 2.0. He flies around, does a move, lands as far away from you as humanly possible, forcing you to run up to him so that you can attack, and then he will jump back further so that you can't hit him, do a move, and land even further. Of his entire moveset, there was only one move that he did where he gave you an actual consistent and extended opening that you could take advantage of. This tail slam move where I get my 12 inches stuck in the ice, relatable as fuck. Tedious, frustrating, and borderline defamation. I do not hit and run away in a fight. I just run away. I don't hit at all. In total, this fight took me just over 20 minutes to beat. That equal to 5 attempts. Only 5 attempts in 20-ish minutes because I'm chasing this fucker more than I'm fighting him. Again, to reiterate, I don't think the boss fights are bad. They are great in this game, like I said earlier, but they do have some heavy and frustrating pacing issues that I have to call out, just like the rest of this chapter following this boss fight. And just a warning, I will be getting into a bit more spoiler territory from this point on. As the game is separated into 6 chapters, each of which being roughly 4 to 6 hours long. Chapter 1 starting off extremely strong in my opinion, potentially the best in the game. A solid introduction to the game's mechanics, bosses and mini bosses in every corner that build in difficulty, a nice region to explore that's a mix of linearity with some open-ended sections to check out that don't feel overwhelmingly large, but do feel rewarding to explore, especially since you're being given the best shit in the game, making the rest of the exploration feel fucking pointless. With the only minor issue in chapter 1 being the fact that the optional boss, which is built up like you're heading to a fucking Nameless King level optional fight, ringing 3 bells lying around on the ground, giving you access to a whole new area, which just turns out to be a fucking room, which leads to the boss, who's a reskin of the big blue bobbleheaded bitch that we just fought moments earlier, but now yellow, not blue, but fucking yellow. I genuinely got pissed. When I saw this big idiot return, I genuinely saw red. I felt a pure rage brew. I felt a burst of anger boil within me, which simmered when I realized that they turned him into a fucking gank fight. A rage, which helped me absolutely fucking demolish him.
Bitch! That's what I thought. First try! You're not getting me again, you hideous fuck.
270 years.
Crying knowing your entire life was a fucking failure. Goodbye. Bye. Bye-bye.
But aside from that, chapter 1 was amazing and is kept up with in chapter 2, which I will admit does slow down a bit. I don't think chapter 2 is up to the same quality as 1, but still good. You have a little less boss fights this time, but still a lot back-to-back, like this frog into this father-son duo with the tiny dad in the distance attempting to throw rocks at us and hitting his own fucking son instead. Then into his other son, How did that produce this? I had a fucking semi-truck collision, which I unfortunately lost. But after these encounters, it does slow down a bit to showcase the level design and area a bit more, which in my opinion was fine, but a bit boring and a bit far too many fucking random archers sniping your ass from the fucking rooftops that you cannot reach and have to go out of your way running past everyone coming after you to kill them and make the engagement somewhat bearable. But good luck reaching them when your character is bordering on suicidal. Where the fuck are you going? No! Stop jumping! But again, a solid chapter that ends with a great boss fight. I think at least I couldn't see him. Meanwhile, chapter 3... It starts off fine, this big snowy tundra area. I fucking love snow areas. I don't know why they're just a vibe unless we're talking about this one. As you get out of a cave and find a bunch of weeping angel statues that have some real enemies blending in, attempting to jump scare you, which you can target from a mile away, completely removing the sense of dread or surprise they were going for.
I wonder which one of these enemies are fucking real.
And fighting a troll who's eating a cantaloupe on a rooftop that farts on my clones and gets first try with ease. No, I killed the troll first try with ease. This troll, this species of enemies, I just killed them first try with ease. Make a note of that fact. And being turned into a bat by Colonel Sanders and the red hot sauce from SpongeBob, who had its head dripped onto a fucking bird. And being taken to a wide open field where you fight me, and after killing him, after defeating that ginormous, intimidating, big, unkillable looking fucking dragon, you should be feeling like a badass, you should be feeling unstoppable, just for the very next scene to occur where suddenly our character, who's killed countless insane bosses at this point, is running away in genuine fear and panic as you're thinking to yourself,
I just killed a fucking blue eyes white dragon. What am I this scared of?
And what it is one fucking troll that I literally killed a version of eating a cantaloupe 15 minutes earlier. We are running away in genuine fucking terror from that after beating this and this and this and this, collapsing on the ground held at sword point where me, who remember doesn't punch and run away in a fight, just runs, could think of 70 different things for our character to do in this fucking situation. I don't know, how about we fucking immobilize and end him? Spawn your duplicates and fucking overrun him. What's he gonna do, fart on them or turn into a rock as he swings and block and parry him? And if you're really that scared and need to run away, fucking disappear. Instead, we just lay there cowering in fear and are stabbed. What? An absolutely baffling story decision after spending the entire length of the game so far building up how much more powerful your character is getting just to be wiped out by one common enemy whose only offense 10 minutes earlier was a whiff of gas from his ass, and waking up in a prison cell where we have to break out. If you really wanted to do that, if you really wanted to get us imprisoned, if you really wanted a prison section that badly that you had to shoehorn it into the middle of chapter 3 in the most random moment, okay, just do what Dark Souls 1 did. Have the pale white dragon that we have to fight beforehand win on our first encounter, just like the pale white dragon in Dark Souls 1. Make our first encounter with him impossible to beat, just like Dark Souls 1 did with C, so we get defeated by me, because I'm a badass and I would be able to do that, no bias, and are captured and taken to the prison. That would make so much more sense, be way more believable, and achieve the exact same goal and make the boss fight with me even better, because it gives me a win and makes me look strong, which I am, and it gives the fight itself way more build up, fighting your way out of this prison to get a fair rematch with me for making us go through the worst area in the entire fucking game, and instead all that build up being passed on to some stupid fucking troll.
Do I get to kill that troll that brought me here? Do I get to kill the troll that fucking brought me here? The random fucking troll that I was running away from and terrified of for some reason. Do I get to kill? I am not fucking happy with killing the captain. I don't care about the captain. I didn't know who the fuck that was. I want to kill that shitty fucking hideous troll. What the fuck am I fighting? That, you are hideous. Almost as hideous as that fucking troll. I hope it chokes on its cantaloupe. I want to shove that cantaloupe down its fucking throat and make it forcefully come out of his ass.
as unlike Dark Souls 1, we aren't just taken to the Duke's Archives where we can pretty straightforwardly fight our way out. Instead, they pulled from Demon Souls and Dark Souls 3, both of which have so much great material to pull from. The boss battles of Dark Souls 3, the levels and locations of Demon Souls, which they do pull from, I guess. They pull from the worst level in the entire fucking game, Prison of Hope and Irothel Dungeon. No! Of all the areas you could possibly pull from in Demon Souls and Dark Souls 3, that has to be the last one next to Farron Keep and the Lake of Actual Diarrhea. That's not a joke, that's in the lore. Although this isn't much better, and it sucks just as bad as it did in those two games. A maze of narrow paths weaving in and out of cells that look identical to one another, and an inconsistent mess of ledges that you can fall off of versus invisible walls protecting you that are spammed everywhere in this game to an unnecessary extent.
Why? Why is there an invisible wall there? Why is there an invisible... you can literally go over there. There's an invisible wall there where it makes more sense to be able to jump over, but not here where it makes no sense to be able to fucking squeeze through.
And it's the same here, spammed all over the place, except for when the game feels like being mean, like on this narrow bridge specifically.
Brother, do not try to piss me off more right now with your... Do not!
I'm done. I'm fucking over it.
The next day.
For fuck's sakes! Who thought this was a good idea? Oh my god! This might be the most dickhead placement I've ever seen since the fucking archers from Dark Souls 1. There we go! Oh, fuck! I'm gonna kill you, you little... I'm gonna run past them. I'm just gonna run forward and try to time my roll, because clearly nothing else fucking works. I rolled off the fucking... Fuck you. Oh my god! Calm down. Fuck you. I survived. What the fuck? He comes back!
Meanwhile, on this other narrow bridge, the invisible walls are there, making them feel inconsistent as shit. But we can't have an annoying prison section in a Souls game without a piece of shit guard patrolling the halls. In Demon Souls, it was the squids, as they gleefully run over to probe you like the fucking piece of shits that they are. The branding bitches in Dark Souls 3 that drain your fucking health bar, not your health, the bar, for daring to be in close proximity with them. Meanwhile, here, you don't just get your health bar drained for being in close proximity with them, you get your health bar drained for being in proximity with them, as periodically every few minutes or so these enemies will spawn in somewhere in the building. It could be on the same floor as you, it could be 3 floors below you, it could be a floor that you haven't even fucking reached yet. These enemies will spawn somewhere and play the most annoying fucking song in existence, where it sounds like an elephant is being executed.
I'm so over this song. I'm so fucking over this.
And drain your health bar until it's a narrow fucking chode for daring to be in the same building as them. It doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter where they are, you will get hit by them even if you just respawn, even if you are resting at your fucking bonfire.
What? Well, I'm in rest.
With the only way to get rid of them is either attempting to kill them so that they can just hurl you off the fucking building, or waiting it out, which is what you're gonna do, because you're not gonna run down 2 fucking flights of stairs in search for them every time so that they can disappear the moment you're near. And your reward for going through too many floors of this shithole of a prison is a dog shit boss that you can hardly see for half the time, and who of course has an attack where he drains your health bar. And after he's killed, going back to our regularly scheduled programming, we proceed with chapter 3 like nothing fucking happened. Without this section, chapter 3 would be about the same length as every other chapter in the game, 4 to 6 hours, maybe a little bit longer, due to the boring ass open world elements compared to the more linear chapter 1 and 2. But with this section and with the open world, chapter 3 limps on from a length of roughly 4 to 6 hours to taking me over 10 hours to fucking complete. One of which being spent on the big earlobe bitch, but we don't talk about that. A 10 fucking fucking hour slog. It got so exhausting that by the end, I didn't even feel like exploring anymore. I just wanted to move on to chapter 4. I just wanted to be out of the snow. This chapter ruined the snow for me. Maybe not to the level of frigid outskirts, but pretty close. I just wanted it to be over. I just wanted to reach the end, which I thought I did, as after fighting through the most clusterfuck section in the entire world, or I'm sorry, after my clones fought through the most clusterfuck section in the entire world, I walked down this path and saw this castle in the distance with this red blood-like effect in the air and thought to myself,
That's gotta be it. That's gotta be the final boss of the chapter. They wouldn't have a fucking effect like that for no reason.
just to fight, I shit you not, a pair of fucking legs.
Actually, what the hell am I looking at?
And then a ginormous castle, which has even more optional bullshit routes that give you jack shit.
In a place for chanting and peace, you reek of blood.
It's not my fault that the people you hang out with are fucking attacking me. What do you want me to do?
And boring ass blind enemies that I fucking cheese.
Huh? 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 Huh?
There you go.
I sprinted past everyone. I couldn't be bothered anymore. I was 8 hours into this chapter at this point. And your reward for this 10-hour long slog of a chapter is what has to be the most boring final boss in the entire game. Yellow Brow, whose brows really aren't even all that yellow, attacking you via big, easy to dodge sweeping attacks and turning into a rock, making him impenetrable, forcing you to wander around so you can charge your big 3-hit heavy attack and break him out of his shell. This is not fun. The best thing I can say about this fight is the set piece where he gets sucked into a bag is pretty cool. This is a really funny shot.
What the fuck am I looking at? That's actually terrifying. That's a straight up cover from Goosebumps.
And then getting the chance to fight the troll who fucking imprisoned us. Good. Let me at him. Let me fucking destroy him. Let me rip him apart just for the game. To pull a Last of Us Part 2 and spare him.
Are you fucking...
I've killed 1 million enemies up to this point. I've killed one of his very own kind. I kill 1 million enemies immediately fucking after this. Why am I hesitating here? Cause Brown Brow is fucking talking?
Do it.
Instead being forced to play as him.
Are impermanent and lead astray. Be a butcher.
This is a fate worse than death.
And after all of that, 10 hours later, chapter 3 was fucking complete.
It's over. It's fucking over. It's fucking over. Next chapter. Yes. Get me out of here. I've almost spent a full waking day on that fucking chapter alone. Yes, I'm ready to go. Chapter 4, fucking be better, please.
And you know what? It fucking was. While chapter 3 was genuinely ass in my opinion, I'm not sure everyone hates it as much as I do, but I'm not gonna lie, I had no fun with it. The only good thing I could say is Snow, my wife, and introducing the best side character in the entire game, this boar who follows you around with his own interesting side plot and helping you with encounters and boss fights and even starting them himself when you don't fucking want him to.
What is going on behind me?
I fucking loved him and named him Sebastian because I didn't know how to pronounce his actual name.
I'm gonna call you Sebastian. You're Sebastian to me.
Outside of that, I didn't like chapter 3, especially with how much I was enjoying chapter 1 and 2 before it, and was seriously hoping for a comeback with chapter 4, and we fucking got one. Chapter 4 brings it back with much better level design, nowhere near as boring or confusing or dragging on for hours and hours with its unrewarding ass open world, much more interesting enemy types and settings with this bug region that's super gross with these cobweb enemies flailing as you walk by, except for this remake of the fucking bridge from the prison section, but even harder this time.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you? No way. No way, no way, no.
I'm just gonna dead sprint through it. I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna dead sprint fucking through it. I'm gonna run past them. I'm just gonna run forward and try to time my roll. Go, 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 go.
This is fucked up. This is fucked up. That is at least until my neurons connected and I actually used the tools that I had at my disposal.
What if I go invisible? Genius. I'm a genius. I'm a genius.
And bug enemy types that are weirdly fun to fight. These beetles and grasshoppers can lead to some intense encounters. Same with these giant scorpion things that sound like a human and have the most overly drawn out death animations I've ever seen. and actual surprise attacks that are used throughout the level that actually surprise you because you can't target them underground before they attack, like how you could target the stone people from a mile away. Chapter 4 was really fun to go through. The only really bad section was these fucking giant moths. Stop moving. I can't tell what's happening. I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna lose my shit. Fuck yourself. Okay, some actual tolerable enemies now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Where are they getting birth from? There's two. Is there a fucking wasp nest? This is awesome. Stop! Move! Come here. All of you, every single one of you, come here. Brother, 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 brother. And I don't hit it, and I don't hit it. I just want to kill you. That's all I want to do. That's all I've ever wanted, is just to kill you. That's all I've ever wanted. I can't. You're gonna die. You're gonna die right now. That's what you're gonna. He took the bullet for him. Come up here. I'm not fighting you down there. You two, up here. You two, get over here. I'm not fighting you down there. Get up here right now. My voice is cracking like a prepubescent 12-year-old. That's how fucking mad these fuckers are making. Get right here. Right here. I'm not coming there. Get over here. I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I'll stand here all fucking night. All fucking night, I'll stand right here. This has to be the last one. I will commit a mass genocide on these fucking mosquitoes. I will fucking kill all of you. I'll make sure none of you are ever fucking birthed again. Get up here now! Oh, you little shithead. I'll fucking come down there and kill you then. If that's what you want, I'll come down there and kill you. How did none of those hit? We're gonna slowly move to where I like to fight you. We're gonna slowly. I'm gonna slowly fucking kill you then. Fuck yourself. There's another. Where are they coming from? Where are they coming from? Is that it? I will check every crack and crevice to make sure there's not a single fucking DNA of those fucking mosquitoes left. I think that's it. I think that's actually it. I think that's actually fucking it. I'm just gonna. Aside from that, fun area, fun level design, and weirdly enough, an actual interesting and engaging story, which isn't really something I thought I would say in a game of this style. As the story of Chapter 4 centers around this family of daughters and their moms that can casually transform into spiders because suddenly we're playing Resident Evil. Capturing Sebastian and hypnotizing him so that the mother can have a cute little pet, fuck, and eat him. Okay.
To beat you right after we mate.
What the fuck? And rescuing him from the mind control by beating the ever-loving shit out of him, which he deserves, for taking us to an arena full of fucking mud, forcing me to heavy roll like the fucking pig that he is, and assaulting me with one of the longest combo strings in the entire fucking game. Remember when I was talking about overly long combo strings and sections where you're just passively dodging for 30 seconds? Here's an example.
How long is he in this form for? All right, thank you. Okay, he's still not done. Brother, how long are we going on for? Is it my turn to attack you?
Leading to a boss fight with the mother, who was surprisingly easy, and then the Deodist, who you've already heard my thoughts on this fight, because as great as Chapter 4 was, it did not stick the landing to me.
What a bummer. What a fucking bummer, man. I was enjoying Chapter 4 so much, too. That's such a fucking bummer. I know myself. I know it's gonna look like I'm gonna be hating in the fucking video. I'm genuinely not trying to hate. I was genuinely enjoying that chapter, and I wanted it to stick the landing. It really fucking didn't.
But what did stick the landing is Chapter 5, as at this point, the game is back in full force. Not just a fun area, not just an alright boss fight, not as good as Chapter 4, but boss fights in every corner, just like Chapter 1, even if two of them are just off-brand armored spiders who took me like an hour on that game. I was new to the series. But majority of these fights land. You've got well-balanced ones that feel like an even duel, like this duo.
That's a 2v1, that's not an even...
You know what I mean. A very fair and fun fight where if you get killed, it's due to a sloppy mistake and not some bullshit. Then pathetically easy fights like this other duo This chapter really likes duos for some reason. A floating head and a severed head that rolls around like a fucking bowling ball, breathing fire that you can easily dodge by moving away before punting their head ass across the battlefield. He just got so many concussions, it is out of this world. If that hit didn't kill him, the chronic CTE will. And then batshit insane bosses that feel like you just overcame a mountain, such as Red Boy.
Oh, who's a cute widow whip?
For as unthreatening as that name sounds, it's a very threatening boss fight, especially when he becomes Red Teen and whooped my fucking ass. I could not do it. I had a starting combo going. I'd get him completely stun locked during his first phase with Sebastian, beating his ass until that first phase ends. Sebastian wisely says,
"Fuck that,"
and then waddles off to get railed by old spider ladies as I proceed to get railed by Red Young Adult. Until finally, after around 30 minutes stuck on this red bitch in a truly beautiful the enemy of my enemy is my friend redemption arc moment, the troll that locked me up in that dogshit prison actually rescued me from this fucking boss fight. I couldn't Pokemon transform into my usual fire splinter guy because I was fighting fire mature adult. So instead, I transformed into the prison troll with his frost abilities who genuinely saved my fucking ass. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if I could have done it. We shook hands and united like brothers, merging our strength together to take on a greater foe. It was honestly beautiful. Do I forgive him? Fuck no. Fuck this enemy type. I hope their entire species chokes on a cantaloupe. Appreciate the help though. Although it's more than just the boss fights, just like chapter 4, they have a great level design here too. The big mountainous terrain that the enemies cannot handle.
This might be the clunkiest fight I've ever had in my life.
And while this is most prevalent in chapter 5, it's not exclusive, as if you're not fighting on perfectly flat terrain, the enemies do not know what the fuck to do if they get stuck on any unnatural type of formation, leading to the most unbearable combat encounter.
Oh my god, they're stuck on a statue, bro. Get down. Get down from the statue. Get down from the statue!
But despite that, it had some great level design, potentially my favorite. Either this or chapter 4 with a great variety, breaking things up like your straightforward linear sections, fighting through enemies, a fuck ton of mini bosses, breaking up the flow, more unique sections like artillery bombardments that do not know the meaning of danger close.
The boss is literally going to get killed by the artillery barrage. He's actually gonna get killed by the fucking artillery barrage.
Oh shit! And a big ass open field of lava which you can walk around in barefoot, despite the fact that enemy types can literally light you on fire, requiring you to roll around to put it out, which makes sense, but not on fucking lava.
Why am I? Fuck. Wait, how do I stop the fire when I'm rolling in lava? Oh, okay, rolling in lava stops being on fire. Got it.
You know what? I did play through Dark Souls 1 and lost Isolate, so if this stops me from having to deal with that, I'll take it. But I'm still gonna make fun of it. But speaking of lava areas, the hero graves from Elden Ring, which is a copy of the chariots from Dark Souls 2, are again copied here with the spinning spike balls spinning back and forth, repeatedly forcing you to sprint through, protect yourself in a little crevice on the side before sprinting through again, which always sounds so much easier than it actually is, especially with shit like bullshit invisible walls placed in areas that look like you can fucking hide it.
Gotta love those fucking invisible walls. I love it. I love that it looks like I can climb up there.
Enemies in the only narrow-ass crevices that you can hide in, as the others are blocked by an invisible wall, attempting to push you out into the path of the ball, which they ended up succeeding in, as this fucker decided to fly out of the ground with a burst of AoE right as the ball was crossing by. You bitch! You bitch! And bullshit that only fucking idiots would fall for. Shit like a fucking lowly mushroom placed on the ground, baiting only the biggest dumbass to try picking it up, where I can only assume the person setting up this death trap was thinking to themselves,
there's no way, right? What if though? Why am I doing that? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Do I really need that mushroom? I have fucking stockpiles of that shit that I literally never use. Why did I do that?
And you might assume that I'd hate this area as much as the prison area from earlier, punishing and petty difficulty, shit like that, but you'd be surprised, as I actually really liked it. I never minded these sections as much as, say, the poison swamps of puke and diarrhea, or squids lobotomizing health bar consuming prisons, especially when they're a quick one-off like in here, just switching and spicing the gameplay up for a short bit that isn't blatant and obvious fucking filler. A perfectly solid length that never overstays its welcome or drags it all for a perfectly solid chapter that I really have no complaints with, which is continued with the finale of chapter 6, where we fight the jerk-off unicycle hand damn near instantly and are given access to the flying Nimbus afterwards, but white instead of piss yellow. My experience in Fortnite prepared me for this moment, giving us the ability to fly anywhere with the mileage of 100,000. Not great, I've gotten better mileage out of my 6-year-old Chevy, but let's not judge too soon. Let's keep on reading the sales pitch, and I quote, "Despite its ability for extensive travel, it can only be used within the territory of this mountain." That is the exact opposite of, quote, extensive travel.
Great car, beautiful car, will give you well over 99,000 miles of travel, but it can only be used within the Manhattan city limit. What? We're in Chicago. How am I even supposed to drive that thing out of here when we're outside the city? Who wants to drive in Manhattan?
However, despite its ability for extensive travel up to 100,000 miles in the regions of this mountain, the Cloud is actually a pretty dope ability and used great in this area, as it's practically made for it, completely open for you to do whatever you want. Flying around, landing near bosses to fight them, even though they're literally just vibing out, swatting you away like the bug that you are. I don't fucking blame them. Landing on any part of the map, random spots like this weird stone hippo that attacked me, followed by an invading army of shredders and an asteroid of a fucking beetle. All I did was land on the ground.
What the fuck? Alright, so anyways, I'm gonna run away now. I can't summon. Why? What the what is actually going on?
And checking out the obvious points of interest around the map, with lightning strikes going on in certain areas, marking boss fights which give you parts of Wukong's set after you beat them, like this bull, who is a fine fight, very simple, with like 3 attacks, a swipe, a stomp, a charge, and way too much fucking health, as well as this beautiful frostbird deer thing that I genuinely felt like I was doing a disservice to society by extincting something like this just for it to turn into the most horrific abomination for its second phase. Meanwhile, the other 2 bosses are marked in less obvious ways, like this giant asteroid beetle who's also fucking ass. The only, quote, puzzle boss in this game, as they hop around the map, stopping for a few seconds to allow you to ride it and grab onto its antennas, which gives you an R2 prompt that goes by so fast you'd assume it was a QTE causing you to fall off, because it's not a click, it's a hold. See, it clearly says so right there for the 1 second that it shows up, and then burning its antennas while also burning your fucking self.
Roll! Wukong!
I mean this with no hyperbole. It is impossible to survive this shit normally. Your health bar fucking melts. Literally, you have to use this item, which I literally had but didn't think to use either here or during the Fire Adolescence fight, while having it literally equipped. I'm a fucking idiot. So instead, going into your inventory and using some of your healing items to give you a boost of health and damage resistance, which, due to being a hoarder, I had plenty that I never used.
Yes! My item hoarding has finally paid off. For once, I didn't let it rot in my inventory for the entire game. For once, I actually used it later. Fuck yeah.
I usually like puzzle bosses. I like Demon Souls puzzle bosses. I've even defended Bed of Chaos.
Listen, okay, listen.
This was pretty fucking ass, especially when they hop out of the map's boundaries and force you to respawn and wait around for like a minute until you hear the comment land and start chasing them again. And finally, the Mantis, who isn't signified by lightning, not by an asteroid, not by a waypoint on the map pointing you to his location. Right, Ubisoft? Tell me, dear viewer, what is the location of the Mantis signified by here? If you said the mist of the fucking water, you are correct.
I thought that was a fucking particle effect.
This boss kicked my fucking ass. As we complete the Wukong set, getting his staff from this waterfall, which caused my FPS to drop every time I entered it, and beating the ever-loving shit out of every enemy who dared to invade us while Sebastian was also there.
Yeah! Get him, Wukong! Oh shit! Get him, Wukong!
Genuinely feeling like an absolute unstoppable powerhouse with this set, wiping the floor with fucking everyone while still taking a sip of the flash from time to time before going back to wiping the floor with everyone, including the final boss. Look at this shit. Fucking first try, the suit is genuinely unstoppable. I got Loki. Beating him shortly after that, where the actual final boss would begin, which stressed me the fuck out, thinking this fight was about to have 3 phases.
Didn't show defeated. No, I didn't show defeated. There's actually gonna be a 3rd phase. There's actually gonna be a third phase. Are you fucking kidding? This is so fucked up.
Not that it matters much, because even without the stone monkey phase, this boss fight kicked my fucking ass. But in a good way, not in a bitching way. I have practically no complaints with this boss fight. They are batshit insane difficulty, but in the way where it doesn't feel like petty bullshit like with Melania or Radahn, but closer to an Ishin. A good fight, a hard fight, intense but not bullshit. Every time you die, it's because you fucked up. You got mixed up by which attack he charges to red or what he lets out instantly. You got duped by his fake immobilized clone when in reality he went invisible to surprise attack your ass like the gullible dumbass that you are, falling for your own tricks. You attacked him when he entered his rock form and got mortal fucking combat combo.
Did he just bonk me? Are you fucking kidding me, motherfucker?
Meanwhile, when I rock deflect him, I barely have enough time to get a fucking flurry going, as you're essentially fighting a beefed up version of you, the perfect version of you, if you were actually good at the game, using all the same combos and moves and abilities that you've been spamming throughout, which is so fucking dope to deal with. I love when games do this. They absolutely nailed it, aside from one minor complaint. This one.
I just got immobilized.
What the fuck?
I just wasted a flash for him.
At this point in the game, I was struggling on this boss so bad that I was searching for help and discovered the fact that you can actually upgrade your flasks in this game. Can you believe it? I sure couldn't.
I just found out that you can fucking upgrade your flask. I am on the final boss.
This NPC, I fucking forgot that he existed. I upgraded my flask for the final boss to use. Hope you enjoy them, buddy. Quench that thirst. The first time this moment happened, it was fucking awesome. It's a great set piece, does a really good job at showing how outmatched you are and how unseriously this fucker takes you. But the problem is, it's not the only time this happens to you. And after the first one, it really loses its charm and gets to the point where it's fucking annoying and not in a good way, as it just happens. Not from a mistake, not from something that you can avoid, aside from not needing to drink a flask. Aside from that, it can just happen. Every time you fight him, there is a chance that he will pull this move out of his hairy ass, adding an element of RNG to an otherwise great and purely skill-centric fight. I fucking hate that. Literally, whenever this happened, it would be so frustrating because in my eyes, it was a fucking lost cause, a lost attempt, a lost run out of no fault of my own, aside from pure bad luck. That is until about an hour and 30 minutes into the fight, where I was having a particularly good run until he decided to whip that move out of his ass out of nowhere, and I assumed it was over.
This run's over. It was literally such a good fucking attempt.
Just for me to somehow come back from that moment of bad RNG all the way to getting him just a few hits, a few pixels away from defeat, while I'm sitting at one shot, blinking red health as well. All abilities gone, all flasks consumed, including the one that's resting in his fucking belly. Nothing, no help aside from my dodges and swings. If I just had that flask and he hadn't had that flask and hadn't gained his health back, I would have had a comfortable, almost certain solidified victory here. Instead, I had the most stressful 30 seconds of my entire fucking life. I missed. No. Yes! Yes! Oh my god! Somehow, despite that, despite the bad RNG, I fucking did it, and I genuinely had not felt this level of relief beating a boss since Consort Radahn. I was fucking shaking from how stressful those final moments made me. Amazing fight, perfect difficulty. That RNG is stupid though, but damn near a perfect 10 out of 10 fight. Just for me to find out that there's an even harder secret boss that I didn't fucking unlock.
I beat the game. I don't care. Fuck you.
The final verdict for Black Myth Wukong is an 8 out of 10. It went through a lot of changes, a lot of fluctuations to reach that score. By the end of chapter 1, it was like a solid 9, 2 dropping to maybe an 8, chapter 3 dropping to like a fucking 7, but by 4 and 5, I was thinking most likely an 8, and that final boss simply solidified it. It's nowhere near perfect. Boss fights have some issues. That midpoint is an extreme slump, but when it picks back up and ends on a high note. No doubt an amazing game, and I'm very much looking forward to its successor and what they end up doing with it. Just don't expect to win Game of the Year 2 fucking years in advance.
And the winner for Game of the Year 2026, GTA. Oh! Oh my god. Thank you all so much. I am truly shocked and humbled. It was an honor to even be nominated, let alone win. I truly was not expecting this. I would just like to start this speech off by thanking President Joe Biden. Oh shit, I'm sorry. This is from a few years ago. I forgot to update this. This smells horrible. What the? God damn, I'm looking through a fucking sniper hole. What the fuck? I gotta take this thing off. Am I standing in the right fucking spot? I can't. Oh my god, who did they make this out of real fucking bar fur? Like skunk ass, like fucking rat ass.